Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. Today, we're being joined by Kimberely Linert, author of Visualizing Happiness in Every Area of Your Life. Kimberly, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Are you ready to get started?
Yes.
All right. Question number 1. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
Well, when you think about writing a book, at least when I didn't really know where to start. And so I found a publisher, and then I started putting pieces together, like who can do my book cover and who can edit this. And my biggest piece of advice is I would find one place that would do it all. It just saved me so much time and money and heartache, because I had my people doing pieces that weren't really working together that well. Mm-hmm. So I would find some place where it's kind of one and done. You know, they just take care of everything. Even if it costs a little bit more, that's what I would do.
I love that you mentioned
that's what I'm going to do with my next book.
Well, and I love that you mentioned that, because when we were forming our publishing company, we transitioned from coaching people to go in with done-for-you services, because just what you mentioned, what we have learned is people don't want to deal with all these little itty-bitty pieces, and they don't want to necessarily just have help with publishing. They need help with marketing. So with our business, we offer publishing and done-for-you book launch marketing, because that way it's all in one. And I'm not saying that to pitch my company. I'm saying that for the fact that there is a need out there for companies to be there to be able to support them for that whole process. So it's done for you. You send the manuscript, and then you have someone that takes care of that process, because there's just so many little things that you have to deal with, and you have to have that right synergy.
Yes. And I think you save a lot of time too. Because I was waiting on one person to do something. Well, you know, it could have been so much faster and easier.
Absolutely. Well, what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
For me, it was just, since I was new at it, just finding a publisher and choosing one. So I had chose a publisher at the beginning, and I didn't like the way they were doing things. They were having a lot of their services done in the Philippines. And so they said, if you need help, you have to call the guy in the Philippines. And he's not available till 9 p.m. at night when I went to bed. So I got rid of them, and I got a new publisher. I got Perfect Publishing, and I liked working with them quite a bit. So I think choosing the right person to help you is important.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that has worked well.
So I'm a little different in this area. I wrote the book actually as a calling card. So I just wanted to use it as something that I could, give to people or introduce myself with to open doors in other areas. So I actually didn't have a book launch. I know that sounds really funny, but I have a best friend that said, you should have had a book launch because you're a celebrity now. And I said, I don't want to be a celebrity. I just want to get my message out. So it's a little different.
So you essentially were using the book as the foundation of your platform. You're using it as a calling card.
Right.
So what were some of the strategies, not necessarily a book launch, but what are some of the strategies that you have done to have this book as your calling card? What are some of the things that you've done?
I just tell people about it, or I have a podcast that I started a few months ago, and so I have that in the show notes, and I've put things on Facebook and marketed it that way, if you can call it marketing. But no big, advertising push or anything like that.
So the main thing has been to leverage it on the back end with using this to support your business and the services that you offer.
That's what I'm using it for.
That is the best strategy around.
Oh, well, thank you.
And that's one of the main focuses that we talk about on the show, is that we always recommend utilize it for your back end. The front end royalties is nice, but the game-changing money is always on the back end with leveraging it for your business and using it as that new and improved business card, as you say, as a calling card. It just makes all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of books, I'd like to know what is your favorite book and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
I mean, I have thousands of books. I'm one of those people that have to keep donating the books because I get so many, they take over my house. So when you ask me to pick a favorite one, it's really hard to do that. But I mean, the book I read the most is the Bible. And I read the Bible the most because it teaches me that I'm loved and how to love other people. So that has to be my favorite book.
And for our final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
It's by Zig Ziglar. You will get all you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. And I believe it's true. And I am kind of one of those super connector kind of people. So I love meeting people. I love connecting people. So if I know that you're doing this and you can help Sally over here, I'm going to connect you guys. So that's why it's my favorite quote, because I think it's so true. And I think when everyone is supporting and helping each other and promoting each other, everyone benefits. Not just that person, everyone benefits, because then, Sally, who needs her books published, and she comes to see Paul, she puts her book out, and then all these people are, benefit and are given, whatever her knowledge is or skill or her inspiration. So that's why I like connecting people, and I just love people.
I have that same exact philosophy. It's all about a win-win, and our philosophy has always been to help other people, because what we found is when you help other people, when you give freely of information, and you genuinely care about other people, it always comes back in a great way. And I just wish more people would realize that what you put out is always what's going to come back.
I agree.
Well, Kimberly, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show today. What is the best way for people to find you online?
I'm a big Facebook person, so I do have a page called Incredible Life Creator, and it's for my podcast. So it's really, the podcast is talking a lot about the things I talk about in the book. So that's the live version of the book. So Incredible Life Creator on Facebook.
Well, Kimberly, thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how you can be featured in our brand new Get Published business book, go to getpublishedpodcast.com.